Hello everyone, today I will showcase a walkthrough of the Microsoft Excel World Championship of 2022, round 2 of the morning session, called Othello. So let's get to the subject. Othello is a board game played between two players, black and white. The game is played on an 8x8 board with reversible pieces, black on one side and white on the other, and a piece may change color after it has been placed. The board starts off as shown to the right, with two black and two white pieces in the center. The players then take turns placing a token of their own color to the board and capturing one or more pieces of their opponent's color. A player can play a piece in a position if 1. That position is empty before their move, and 2. Adding a new piece completes a straight line in one direction, horizontal, vertical, or diagonal, where both ends are a piece of the color just played, and all the squares in between are the opponent's color, no blanks. After the move, all the pieces of the opponent's colors on the lines described in 2 are changed to the player's color. Okay, so basically, to make a move legal, there must be an empty space where you want to place your piece, and you must be able to capture at least one piece of the opponent's color. For example, the second board to the right shows the configuration in example 3. A1 here is not a valid move for white because the only adjacent black pieces down to column A, these, do not have another white piece on the other side. You should have a white piece here in order to capture them. B1 is a valid move for white because it completes two lines horizontal from B1 to D1, like that, and diagonal from B1 to D3, like that, with white at both ends and black in the middle. The black piece in C1 and C2, like that, are then captured. Okay. And I believe they have something else here. No? It's, yes. C1 is not a valid move for white because it is already occupied. Note these are not complete rules of Othello, but they are the only ones needed for these questions. Okay. So, first question, for each of these boards, how many black and white pieces in total are there on the board? So, they provide us the board cells on pieces locations, horizontal format. So as you can see, you have first row, column 1, column 2, etc. and you have its content. So what we'll do is to count if. I want to count for all this line the white pieces. Then I'll just copy paste that and add to this just a little variation of that where I will count the black pieces. So like that, we have the first level. For the second level, the question is not very different. We want to know how many black pieces are on the board, so I can just copy paste that and remove the part where we count the white pieces. I copy paste and level 2 is done. For level 3, things are starting to get hard. Well, it says medium, but I find it hard. For each of these boards, can white play a valid move in the given position by placing the white piece into the designated cell? Y for yes and for no. So, what we'll do here is start to make a model of this board right here. What I want to do is for line 95, which I write here, row 95. I will name that for further purpose. And what I will want is to get the grid. So I will copy paste that like this. And I will want the grid here. So in order to do that, I'll use an offset function referencing this cell that I'll fix. I don't want to offset, yes, I want to offset the row, sorry. I want to offset the row by this, minus 95, because for line 95 we are already in the right line. And for the columns, I will offset this by this column minus the column number of this that I fix. Because for the start, we already are where we want. Now I'll just copy paste that for all the line, like that. And now what I can do is do a little HLOOKUP where I want to search this address, like that. I want to search that in this array that I fix. I want the second row number and I want an exact match. I copy paste that for all the cells and we have the grid. And just for like that, just for presentation, I'll do this. Okay. So now what we want to do is to have the cell where we want to play. We want to know its row, its column, to apply offsets to them. We want to know if we can play. And for further questions, we want to know how many pieces we can capture. So I'll just say this is NB black, like that. So I'll name this 2 and this 2, like that. This cell will do an offset 2 of this. We'll offset the line by this minus 95, and we don't want to change the column here, like that. For the row, we want the right part, and as it's always one character long, we can do this like that. And for the column part, as we want a number, what we'll do is take this part, get it into a match function, search for it in this array, and get an exact match. And as you can see, one of them is not aligned the same way because this is considered text. So we add a +0 to consider it as number. I'll just get the black and white piece like that for further reference too. And what I'll do is modelize the 8 different directions to get the inside of the cell. So I have left, right, up, down, diagonal left, up, diagonal left, down, diagonal right, up, diagonal right, down, like that. I get the position 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I could have used the series, but it would be longer. So what we know is that for the first cell, we always have white piece like that. And what we want to do is copy paste that 2 times for the row and the column. And we'll rename them row and column, or col for shorter. What we want for the first position is the row here, that we copy paste like that. Same for the column, like that. And now what I write is by how many the row will be offset if I go to left, so it doesn't change anything. Same for right. If I go up, it's -1. If I go down, it's +1. And now for the diagonal going to up, I copy paste the up. And for the ones that go down, I copy paste down. I then copy this column and paste it here, like that. I do the same thing for the column. So this is -1, +1. This doesn't change. This doesn't change. Now for what's left, we do this, and for right, we do this. We then copy paste all of that. And with this, we have the row number and column number. For each of the directions, we want to check this cell. You'll see that here. So first I'll do a if with an or inside, because what I want to check is if the line number is not inferior to 1, not superior to 8, because the grid is 8 by 8. I want to do the same thing for the column number. Yes, the same thing for the column number. Wait, I misdid something here. Okay, like that. I'll just take this like that. Okay. So for the column number, we do the same thing as I said. And if any of this is true, so if a row number or a column number are not inside the grid, we have an empty cell. Else we'll do an index function, like that. And what we want is the row number and column number. And with that, we can copy paste this for this column. We can copy this column and copy this for like that. And with that, you have all the cells on the left of this of the one we want to place. And we know that, for example, for E6, here, if we place our piece, we have a white piece right on directly on the left, then another white piece, then a black, which is right. We have white, white, black, black. And now with that, what I want to know is where is the first white piece next to the one I place? How many black pieces are there between this white piece and the one I placed? And can I really take this, or is there a blank between? So in order to do this one, I'll do a match. I'll search a white piece, like that, with an exact match. And as sometimes it won't find any white piece, I'll manage this error and send a 0. Now to count the blacks, I will use a count ifs. First, I want to count them if they are black. And I'll add another criteria. We want to count the black pieces between the one we place and the next white piece. So what we want is for that to be inferior to this, like that. Here we have 0 black pieces, so we can't take any, which is right. Okay, and now, to know if we can take or not the piece, we have 2 conditions. This must be at least equals to 2 or superior to 2. So we have this, and this plus 1 should be equal to that. Because if for example, it's on the second place and we have one black piece, 1 plus 1 should be 2. This condition is for the blank spaces, because if we have, for example, the white piece on the third place, we have a black piece here and a blank here, we have only one black piece, which will give 2. And as the piece would be here and 3, it will say, no, you can't take because there is a blank. We don't know exactly where because we don't need to, but we know there is at least one blank. So if it's right, we can play the move. So I'll mark it as 1, and else I will make a 0. I will return a 0. I copy paste that for all of the 8 directions. And now to know if I can play the move or not, I have again 2 conditions. First, the cell where I want to place my piece with this row, this column must be empty. And then I must at least be able to capture one black piece. If it's the case, I say yes, else I say no. Then I have to calculate how many black pieces I can take. So I'll use a sum product of this times this, like that. And we have our model. So now, what I'll do is use a bit of VBA in order to automatize everything. So I'll use sub question 3. I will do from line 95 to 114. So for I equals 95 to 114. Next time, what I'll do is range row equals to my row number. Okay, and range E, column E and row I equals range playable. Remember that I can use this because I named the range. So here everything should be right. Okay, everything is okay. For question 4, it's almost the same thing. I'll have to update the row numbers. 127, 146. And what I want is not if I can play, but the number of black pieces I can capture. Oh, and of course I have to rename that because having 2 subs with the same name in the module would be a big problem. Okay. And we have it. So now for level 5, it's a bit different. Now they don't tell you where they want to place the piece, but instead you have to give them the place where you have to place the piece in order to take the most black pieces as possible. So you have to test all of these positions. So in order to do that, first I have to probably do something like that. Yes, why not? We'll do something like that. I have this. I just copy paste. I just take the format. This is not necessary, but I do this like that. Okay, so here it will be F1, like that. So what we have to do now is that we'll take the 4th question and modify it again. So now let's rename this. We'll update the row numbers 159 to 188. we still want to update the row number on the oversheet. Now what we want to do is to test all of this. So for that, we'll do from 9 to 72 with another loop. And what we'll do is that we'll change this. So range G and I equals to cells 150 and column G, like that. Okay. So now it will place the cell in the other sheet. And what we need to know is first if range playable equal yes. So if the move is playable, then what we want to know is if range ND black is superior to max value, which I'll declare right there, dim max value. I'll also declare position like that. Then max value equals this and position equal G. This way I will be sure to keep the position of the cell that will give us the maximum black pieces. But in order for this to work properly, for each of the line, I'll have to reinitialize this value. So I say max value equals 0 and position equals 0. And now in column E, we don't want the number of blacks we capture. What we want is cells 155 and the position to know what cell we want to place our white pieces on. Okay. And now with that, this should work. And as you can see, everything fits. Okay. I hope this walkthrough helped you, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask on the comment section. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.